Hey all, and this is the Jurassic attack event. This is a Dark Commander event with Chaotic Killer. Now I've made up two decks for this event, one for the Crusade maps and one for the solo bosses. I've not managed to find a team that's especially effective on the guild bosses yet. The main problem with the guild bosses is weaken, and I lack many counter cards for weaken. So this is basically my selection of dark cards that have a weaken counter. It's very, very limited. So for the maps, this team relies on me finding a card that's the ultimate form for the event. I have quite a few friends and guildmates that have that card up, so it's not too difficult to find, and it gets through the Carillion maps pretty quickly. It's basically a mix of the Golems deck with one of the cards from the Guru's deck. So you've seen me use this deck many, many times before. Glorious Golems, two ultra rares that have that lovely supercharged bonus, attack plus 2500%. And this card, the main reason I have that is because it gives another attack bonus, another attack of 1200%. So when combining the two, this does pretty decent damage and gets through the maps reasonably quickly, but I do need a card that has the killer skill with this deck, otherwise it takes ages. So onto the actual bosses, I've gone with a strange mix, two Golems deck, two of the Guru's deck, and then this card here, Truth and Consequence. This has the chaotic killer skill needed. Since I can't take an ally card for the bosses, this card is essential. This card spawns quite a few power gems as well, which is always useful. And then the other two cards both have the attack bonus 1200% on them. This one spawns quite a lot of fire gems as the battle goes on, as it's based on Immortal Killer Intensity. So for the bosses, this team is actually pretty decent. You can sometimes get overkill on the diamond bosses. The Carillion bosses, though, it's a completely different story. Those are much harder and take normally 2 to 3 attacks to take down, depending on how the grid goes. So there we go, that's the teams I'm going to be using for the event. Now let's get on with playing the event. Alright, so here we go with the actual event. I'm going to be taking on the Carillion map. So here we go, let's play the map. I need someone that has the killer skill needed up. The ultimate form from this deck is the most useful card. The 600% HP actually applies to the cards I have on my team, so I'll get the massive HP bonus even with a different killer skill card as lead. It's pretty useful actually. So I'll just start with over 3 million HP with a bit of luck. Okay, here we go. As you can see there, 3.5 million HP, so yeah, that's always pretty good. Pretty straightforward stuff, it's just basic matching and getting the supercharged bonus up. Nothing too difficult here. Should be able to take out this wave now that I have supercharged up. So here we go. You're probably seeing there are not many fire gems, so I'm not able to use this card. However, this is mainly for the extra attack bonus, so I don't really need that card. Or should I say, I don't really need that card's skill. So this should die reasonably fast once I get some good matches going. That wasn't bad. More power gems this turn. Well, I've matched enough fire gems to use the Guru's card. It might help a bit to stop the gems crushing together. I'll use it next turn. Not much on the grid here. So maybe not the fastest method for defeating the map, but it is a pretty safe method. And I should have done it this turn with a bit of luck. There we go, that will do. I'm sure that will be enough to finish off the boss. Yeah, there we go. So that's an early Caridium map completed. No problems there, as long as I pick someone that has the killer skill required for this event. So I'm going to skip on ahead a bit here until I find a solo boss. Okay, so a solo boss has now spawned. I'm going to try and defeat it. This will probably be quite difficult. I have my team ready though. Hopefully I will be able to take this out with a reasonable amount of keys. By that I mean no more than 2 to 3 attacks, but I guess we will see. Let's get on with this. So with this, I need to match fire gems. I need to try and match all the fire gems at the start. Fire gems become quite hard to get once I start matching dark gems. So let's see what we have. That's actually pretty much perfect. So match those 2 fire gems. So the only skill it has is poison. That's not too bad. However, I do have to be careful and keep removing it using the Golem's ultra rare. So let's see what I get from here. So use that to fill in the gap, and then use that to fill in the gap there. There's a couple over there that are on their own, so let's try matching those. That's not a bad first attack. The difficult part now is normally matching fire gems. I need fire gems before I can do the next attack, so that was actually lucky. Another fire gem sort of came down at that point. So here we go again. I'm going to try and get something going. Try those 2 big ones in the middle. That's not bad. It's like 20 trillion or so. And I have the fire cards ready for the next attack. So that's perfect. With a bit of luck, I'll be able to get in 2 more hits. That could be good. Let's try that. And I think this will be the last hit. Yeah, that was a bit weak. Let's give this another try. I was kind of expecting that last attack to do more damage than it did. I'm not sure why that hit was so weak, but never mind. There's not much I could do about that. A lot of luck involved in where the gems actually go. I'm trying to match 2 high value power gems that are away from the rest of the grid. That's quite hard to do. Ah, I made a mistake there. I only got 8 fire gems, so... going to need to hope I get lucky. Yeah, that's okay. Right, let's try this again. Well, there's that. I'll try that. Don't think that was especially good, but couldn't see anything else on the grid to really match. Yeah, that wasn't really a good attack. Actual fact, that was absolutely terrible. However, I do have enough fire gems for another go. Right, let's see what I can get going this time. Well, again, yeah, very weak attack. Nowhere near as good as it should be. So much luck involved in this. Yeah, my first attack was much better than this, and now there's no fire gems, so... slight problem. Well, there we go, there's the fire gems. I just don't know if there's enough on the grid to get out another decent attack. I'll give it a go. See what that does. Well, that's a reasonable final hit. Should be doing a bit more damage than this, though, so... I think I'm getting a bit unlucky with my gem matches. I will take out this solo boss though. I'll skip ahead a bit here until I've actually beaten the boss. So there we go, the boss is defeated. However, it took me 5 attacks, so I may just stick with the diamond map. You can get Corellium Guild boss keys from the diamond map, so I think that may be the best option for me. The Corellium solo bosses are very difficult. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the guild bosses. You really need the event deck for these. So I'm going to go and tag the new diamond boss. The main problem with these is they have weaken on them. Armor's not too bad to counter, however, weaken is a pain. With the Golem's deck, weaken blocks the supercharged skill, so if weaken ends up on one of the Golem's ultra rares, it makes the deck basically useless. So this you really need the actual event deck for. So there we go, armor and weaken. So let's have a quick look through the cards that could be potentially used to counter. So there we go, it's already on weaken. I don't know why I changed that. And that card's useless, didn't want to click on that. Right, so that's my options anyway. This old, I believe that's a support card. Creates 5 dark gems, yeah. A few Gen 2 cards have the counter, but this is weaken level 6, so... and the counter is only level 6, so I don't think it's going to counter that often. So there is another option you can use. Let's go on to the wardens. Want to get the strongest warden. There we go. This warden here could potentially be used as it has a skill called Mass Dispel that removes all enemy debuffs. So if you are struggling like I am to find a weaken counter, that's a card you could consider using, as you can just use that card's skill, then use one of the Golem's cards to get supercharged up. I'm not going to actually have a go at a guild boss though, as they are very difficult and I don't have many keys yet. So now let's talk a bit about the event rewards and the actual event deck. Let's start with the collection. This time around it's a Dragoon collection, so very important to try and complete this collection. Dragoons are very, very useful in GBG, especially since the last update made all the wardens so much stronger. So, there we go. Tons of items for upgrading your Dragoons. And a few emerald shards right at the bottom. So definitely a collection to try and complete, arguably the best collection in the game. And now onto the actual warden. I had a look at this earlier and it's one I think many players are going to be using. Here is why. So let's scroll up. Going to go right to the top here. So the warden has Toxin defender skill. Now, Toxin is one of the most useful defender skills in the game, especially on a light warden, as most players are going to go in with the Golem's deck against a light defense. So yeah, I think many players are going to be using this. You don't very often find a very high powered Toxin warden like this one, so yeah, definitely worth fighting for in my opinion. And finally, let's go over to the actual event deck. Let's have a look at what the deck is like. So I could actually craft one of these cards. I'm not going to yet, as I believe the team I already have is reasonably decent. I actually got a main hero from tier 3 of the vault and got another main hero from the collection rewards. So I do have 2 main heroes, but I don't think I'm going to be using them for the event. So this is what the cards are like. This destroys all non-dark gems, so this could be slightly problematic with the way Gem Crush is. It's going to destroy all those fire or whatever gems you're using that are there to try and stop the gems from crushing together. This one creates power gems. And when you gem crush, it increases the damage. So I think they're trying to stop you from using two coloured decks here. That's what it seems like anyway. So a very strange event deck. Possibly one to consider just for the killer skill and lead bonus, but I would be careful about using the card that destroys all non-dark gems, as that could potentially mess you up completely if using a mixed colour deck. And there we go. I think that pretty much covers this event. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to help. Also, feel free to post any deck suggestions that you have yourself. I'm not sure if my deck is optimal or not out of the cards I have. If you have something better, I'm always happy to hear that. And thanks for watching.